What if I told you there's a secret method in the finance world for growing your money with very little effort on your part? Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, not really. This method is called compound interest, and wealthy individuals commonly use it as a ridiculously easy strategy to increase their wealth. But here's the secret. You don't actually have to be rich to apply this method. Anyone with a little bit of money can start doing it today. So in this video, we're going to deep dive into the secret world of compound interest. I'll show you how it works with some real life examples, why it's essential to building wealth, and most importantly, how you can use it to get rich in the future. Let's get straight into it. How compound interest works. Albert Einstein once said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it. So I would recommend trusting Albert on this one. To explain the concept of compound interest, let's imagine you have a magic piggy bank where you put your money. However, this is no ordinary piggy bank. This is a special piggy bank because it grows your money all by itself. Here's how it works. Unlike other piggy banks, when you put money into this special piggy bank, it doesn't just sit there collecting dust. Instead, it makes more money over time. So if you put in $10, the piggy bank will give you 10% interest per year, which is $1. But here's the cool part. Next year, the piggy bank doesn't just give you 10% on the $10 you put in. It also gives you 10% on the $1 that it gave you last year. So this repeats itself every year and you get more and more money. Not just on what you put in, but also on the money the piggy bank already gave you before. And if you keep putting money in there, you'll earn more interest, and that interest will earn interest. This is what's known as compound interest, where your money has the power to multiply exponentially over time. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, getting bigger and bigger as it goes. This is why some people refer to compound interest as a snowballing effect. And the longer you leave your money in the piggy bank, the bigger it gets. Here is the basics of compound interest with some examples. At its core, compound interest is interest calculated on both the initial principal and the accumulated interest from previous periods. Unlike simple interest, which is calculated solely on the principal amount, compound interest has a compounding effect, leading to exponential growth over time. Let's break down the concept with a simple example. Imagine you invest $1,000 in a savings account with an annual interest rate of 5%. These days, you can easily get around 5% from a bank, so it's quite realistic. At the end of the first year, you'll earn $50 in interest, bringing your total balance to $1,050. Now in the second year, you'll not only earn 5% interest on your initial $1,000, but also on the $50 you earned in interest during the first year. This compounding effect continues to snowball with each passing year, amplifying the growth of your investments. To further demonstrate the power of compound interest, let's consider two scenarios. One involving a lump sum investment, and another focusing on regular contributions over time. Example 1, lump sum investment. Our friend Eddie here has saved up $10,000 and wants to invest it into an ETF with an assumed average annual return of 8%. If he leaves the money untouched for 30 years, the power of compound interest will work its magic. Let's look at this compound calculator on screen. By the way, I will leave a link to this website so you can play around with the numbers yourself. Alright, back to the chart. After 10 years, if he invests $10,000 and leaves it untouched, assuming a return of 8% per year, his investment grows to approximately $21,589. After 20 years, his investment balloons to around $46,610. And after 30 years, his investment skyrockets to approximately $100,627. Notice how the growth accelerates over time thanks to the compounding effect. It's always in the final few years, it goes really crazy. Even though Eddie only contributed $10,000 initially, his investment multiplied more than tenfold due to the power of compound interest. Example 2, regular contributions. Our other friend Emma here wants to invest into the same ETF with an assumed average annual return of 8%. However, she chooses to invest $200 per month rather than a lump sum. If she continues to do this for 30 years, here's what the power of compound interest will do. Total contributions by Emma at 30 years is $72,000. So that's $200 per month for 30 years. Total value of the portfolio at 30 years is approximately $298,072. In this example, the majority of her portfolio growth is not the result of her contributions, but rather the compounded growth of those contributions over time. Compound interest turbocharges your savings, allowing you to accumulate wealth even with modest contributions. I believe investing $200 per month is affordable for most Australians, so you too can do the same. While we're still on this page, let's experiment with the numbers a bit. I don't know about you, but I love playing with this calculator. So instead of $200 per month, let's say she saves a total and invested $2,400 at the end of every year instead. This is the same total contribution but invested at different times. Doing so reduces the total return by approximately $26,000. This illustrates the benefit of regular contributions in speeding up the compounding process. Now let's extend the total investment period to 40 years. The total amount then becomes $698,202. In just the additional last 10 years, the portfolio has more than doubled. If we subtract the total contribution for the additional 10 years, the extra profit comes to $376,130. This profit is purely from extending the investment period by 10 years, demonstrating the power of compound interest. The more time you give it, the more it will produce for you. Feel free to explore this calculator and adjust the regular deposit to fit your budget. So if you're curious, to become a millionaire, you need to invest $300 per month for the next 40 years. While this isn't guaranteed, it assumes that the ETF will maintain its historical return of around 8%. So these examples demonstrates what you can achieve by being smart with your investments. And if you're looking for an online broker to invest into ETFs to start the snowball effect of compound interest, then check out Moomoo. They are a beginner-friendly online broker that allows you to invest in both the Australian and US stock market. What I like about Moomoo is that they tick off all the boxes I look for in an online broker. They are CHESS sponsored, which means you own the shares directly under your name, which makes it a bit more secure. They charge a very low brokerage fee, starting at $3 per trade for Aussie stocks and 99 cents per trade for US stocks. This is one of the lowest fees on the Australian market. And of course, since you are my audience, I have organized some nice sign-up bonuses for you. Right now, if you sign up using the link in the description, you'll receive up to 10 free random stocks if you make a qualified deposit. You'll also get $2,000 brokerage free cards for both Aussie and US stocks for 30 days. This basically means you get free brokerage fees for the first 30 days. In addition, the Moomoo app provides premium research tools and numerous free learning guides on investing in the stock market. So it's perfect for beginners who want to start investing this year but don't want to pay a ton of fees. Please note, terms and conditions do apply, so please make sure you check it out before proceeding. I'm not sure how long they'll keep this offer, so if you're interested, use the link down below to sign up and claim all the free rewards on screen. And if you're watching this video in the future, I'll leave a link to the current best bonus offer. The sign up process is very easy and should only take a few minutes. Enjoy. So here are 5 strategies you can apply to take advantage of compound interest and maximize your wealth. 1. Start early. Time is your greatest ally when it comes to compound interest. The earlier you start investing, the more time your money has to compound and grow. In the calculator earlier, we saw that the more time you give your money, it's in those last few years or decades that the power of compound interest really goes into overdrive. 2. Invest regularly. You need to invest regularly, whether it's a lump sum investment or regular deposits. This will boost the effects of compound interest over time. It may also be better to invest monthly rather than annually, even if it's the same total amount. The extra time in the market can add up in the end, as we saw here previously. 3. Reinvest dividends and interest. Instead of cashing out dividends or interest earned from your investments, consider reinvesting them to amplify the power of compounding. Most shares or ETFs offer a dividend reinvestment plan or DRP. This allows you to automatically reinvest all your dividends, therefore maximizing the compound interest on your investment. 4. Choose investments wisely. Not all investments are made equal. Make sure you select investments with a track record of consistent returns and growth potential to maximize the benefits of compound interest. For example, if you're selecting an ETF, make sure you carefully research what you're buying into. What is the ETF tracking? Is it an index to a particular market? Or is it tracking other volatile assets? Just because it's an ETF does not mean it's safe. Ideally, it has a consistent historical return and not overly volatile. And 5. Be patient. I know this one is hard to do at times. In this modern world, we all want instant gratification. Just remember, compound interest is a long-term game. Stay patient and committed to your investment strategy. In the meantime, go enjoy your life and allow compounding to work its magic over time. The downside to compound interest. Now, it's not all sunshines and rainbows when it comes to compound interest. There are some disadvantages and risks involved. One major risk is the accumulation of debt. While compound interest is great when you're earning interest on your funds, it's not as great when you owe money. So for example, let's say you have a credit card and you borrow $5,000 at an 18% interest rate. This is the average credit card interest rate in Australia. If you don't repay this debt within a year, here's what happens. In the first month, you'll be charged $75, which will be added to your $5,000 balance. Each subsequent month, the accumulated interest increases because you're now paying interest on your previous interest. And this debt will continue to snowball. By the end of the year, your total debt will be $5,978, consisting of $978 in accrued interest on top of your original $5,000 principal. So if you're not careful with borrowing, compound interest on debt can accumulate really fast, making it very hard to repay what you owe. So if you have a credit card, make sure you pay the balance in full every month to avoid this. And if you intend to borrow money from a credit card without repaying it, please don't get a credit card in the first place. Another risk is stock market volatility. In the examples provided earlier, we assume that the stock market would maintain its historical average annual return of around 8%. However, it's important to remember that past performance does not guarantee future results. Despite the stock market's recent success in the last few decades, there are no guarantees that it will continue. We invest hoping that this trend continues in the future. Additionally, the 8% average return is not consistent year by year. There will be some years when the market may rise by 20% and others when it may fall by 10%. The logic is, over the long term, this will hopefully even out to around 8% per year. Investments subject to compound interest are often vulnerable to these market fluctuations. Sudden downturns can diminish the value of your investments, affecting their potential for compounded growth. Investing in ETFs that track an entire market can help mitigate market fluctuations. Nevertheless, it's important to remain aware of these risks. And just a quick disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor and this video is not financial advice. The examples I use is for entertainment purposes only. The assumed returns are based on historical data only and it's not a guarantee of future returns. Please do your own research or go see a professional if you would like financial advice. By the way, if you're enjoying this video or found it useful, comment the word snowball down below so I know who you are. And if you're new around here, what are you waiting for, mate? Hit that subscribe button and join this awesome community. Also, please consider signing up to my free newsletter, Aussie Money Club, where once a week I'll send you some money tips, major news in the market, or any cool life updates from me. And I think it's just a cool way for us to keep in touch. And if you're interested to learn more about how to invest in ETFs to start the compounding effect, check out this video on screen where I'll show you how to buy ETFs in Australia as a beginner. And as always, thank you for watching, I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.